is none that thou knowest in this cavern, rest assured of that. The being that lives here wishes to take over this body.
Huh. You mean my body?
A pity that thou art not as combative with it. It is consuming thy mind e'en now, and yet thou dost offer no resistance. If thou dost allow it to continue, thou wilt be erased, replaced, and that is not in my best interests either.
Now that's ironic. Isn't that what you're doing to me?
An insulting comparison. This parasite is nothing. It is insignificant. I can easily protect us, if thou dost allow it. Thou shouldst give me more space, more liberty. Open thy mind instead of keeping me prisoner.
Yeah, we'll see. You're asking me to let you come in and mark out your territory. But at what price?
Thou wilt gain access to a greater part of me, to my knowledge, to my power. All that thou risketh is to gain in knowledge and power, and that can do thee no harm. We shall only be stronger, both of us.
Well, let's see. Everything is rosy and without a care.
I imagine that thou wouldst undergo a slight physical transformation. Thy body was not conceived to contain a power such as mine. It will consume thee if thou refuseth to evolve.
There we go. Admit it. You feel better.
Whatever thou risketh in trusting me is insignificant in comparison with what awaits us if thou dost stay and do nothing. If thou dost refuse to evolve, we will both soon be lost, and this world will follow.
All right. Between the non-stop screaming and all your moaning, my head is going to explode anyway. So go ahead and do it.
Wise decision. Thou wilt not regret it. Now, thou must empty out all of thy thoughts. Allow me to move. Yes. At last I can move. Breathe. Think freely. Thou mayest continue. If anything tries to control thy mind, I will make certain they understand who is in command.
Damn, this place is giving me the shivers. At least there's nobody here to give a shit if I crap my pants.
If thou art incapable of controlling thy body, thou mayest as well let me do it.
Don't push me.
Beware of those creatures. They are powerful and probably the most vicious in all the Deadwalker army.
So you're the one who's been spied in the village. Now that I see you, I understand why you'd rather not show up in person. Oh yeah, I don't hear your voice in my head anymore, actually. You must have figured that out. So if you've got a message to deliver, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Forget it. I came down here to do two things. Look for mushrooms and kick somebody's ass. Guess what? I ain't found any mushrooms.
Victory, mortal, the dead walkers come. Your pathetic little village has been discovered, and soon will no longer exist. Today I fall, but dozens of new brothers and sisters will rise from the dead. The Dark Lords will raise me up again, and they will reward me.
Well, your Ice Lords have never messed with a Powder Master, now have they?
If you listen to the rabble who actually live in the swamps, we should head back to the village now. If he was right, and a general is directing the attack, only your power could stop them.
There's no time for this. I should head to the village. There's no time for this. I should head to the village.
Vulcan, where were you? We were up to our necks in it. They're everywhere. We're holding this gate, but I think the others have been overrun.
Do you know where the captain is?
He headed for the center of the village. Sounded like it wasn't going well over there. You should go and help him.
Prince is on the move again, and he's not wasting any time.
The puppet he confronts. It is not like the others.
It's It's more likely to be the puppet master. He looks like a dead walker general. He's probably leading the assault on Valvanor.
All of this power he animates with, it belongs to me. It was stolen and twisted by your miserable magicians. It is time to take back what is mine by right.
If you're planning to take care of him like all the others, sounds good to me. Prince Arundel won't last long facing that kind of monster.
He is using more power than thou wilt allow me to deploy.
I can take care of myself, and here's my plan. I'm gonna come at him with everything I've got. Killing their general is gonna screw up our enemies big time. Let's go do it.
I know not what thy father did to him, but he seems to want to take revenge personally.
That was one tough death's head. But it won't command anyone now. Without their general, the dead walkers should leave us alone for a while. But they'll reorganize, so we can't stay here.
You're right, mercenary. Let's use the time to leave. It's now or never if we're going to get to Karalthas. My father and the armies of the Free Nations should be there. If we hurry, we may be able to participate in the mother of all battles and finally push back the Ice Lords.
If thou dost throw thyself into this battle, the only thing that thou wouldst find is thy death, and the only chance thou hast for saving this world will disappear with thee. Their armies will not win. He knows this, but that is not what motivates him. He is seeking his father's approval. He wants to buy the crown by delivering us to his king. He believes we are at his command. But he is mistaken. I only serve and live for the World Heart. Thy elven city is closer. I can feel it. Forget these suicidal battles. If thou join with them, thy so-called friends will end up turning against thee out of fear or envy.
Sybil would never raise a finger against me. She will back me to the end.
The scribe, who is as pretty as she is innocent. Art thou naive? The scribes manipulated thee in the temple and the swamp. But thou placest thy trust in their leader's daughter? Their leader, whose killer thou doth protect? Thou hast no more choice. Thou must hasten to the World Heart and purify it. It is thine only chance. Do combat there, and if thou art not slain, at least one of thy companions, if not all of them, will betray thee to try to control or study the power I bring thee.
Vulcan? Vulcan? You were far away. Is it the demon? He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Yes, it happens sometimes.
You have to make a decision soon. Will you join us in the battle at Karalthas?
I don't know yet.
I understand. It's been a long day. I'll let you think it over for a while. Let me know when you've made a decision.
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Karalthas?
If you want to get to the World Heart, we'll need to go by there. But the prince's company seems both unnecessary and dangerous. Believe me, I know his type all too well. Invested with a mission, he is soon overwhelmed by, probably named by some obscure prophecy. In the name of his family, or because of an idealized vision of his future duties as sovereign, he will give his all. In other words, all his imbecility. Chasing after glory and honor, unprepared and unprotected, he will only lead us to disaster.
Seeing the shit we're in, I don't think he's doing it just for the glory. He's got an interest in having everybody survive.
And in making it look like everyone has survived entirely due to his talents, and not those of a mercenary who can produce flames and defeat a general of the Deadwalkers. Do you really believe he wants you around just because he enjoys your company? Not to mention the increasing threat implied by our friends dressed all in red.
What do you suggest we do?
When we get to Karalthas, we better give them the slip and head to Blackfrost's domain.
Why should we go down there?
Because those lands are positioned quite close to the city of the elves, and like all the lands of the Ice Lords, it's a point of entry into the World Heart.
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Carothas?
If you want to get to the World Heart, believe me, in the name chasing after...
Seeing the ship...
And in me. Do you not to mention...
What do you suggest?
When we get...
Why should we go down there?
Because those land...
Prince Arundel is asking us to join up with his forces in Carothas to fight the Dead Walker army. What do you think?
For years now, the Knight has fought in many battles and with many different armies. The generals, the kings, and the chiefs of those armies were usually ready to sacrifice the lives of their men with no remorse in order to win. If the mercenary goes to Carothas, this prince will use him for his own purposes and sacrifice him if needs be. He cares for nothing beyond his own safety. And if he is faced with the Ice Lords, he would turn and flee, as did his brothers before him. The Knight is weary of these doubts and petty thoughts. He wishes to return to the attack and strike the Ice Lords at their very hearts. If he was in the mercenaries' place, he would listen to the demon and follow its plan. And he would like to know that he would not stand alone in this final battle.
We'll be able to break camp soon. Where's our next objective?
For now, we're going to stick with the Red Scribes. They haven't paid us yet, and they won't until we reach Carothas. In any case, that's where we're headed. I sent Wolf on ahead of us a few weeks ago to see if he could find fresh volunteers for us, but I don't think there's much hope of that. This war is looking worse and worse for us. In 10 years fighting, the Deadwalkers haven't lost a single battle. I suppose we could hide for a while. But considering what's left of Bertiel, that would be like hiding in a pile of ashes. We have to come up with some alternatives. And for now, I can only think of one. The demon. For the moment, it's the only card we have left to play.
Thy captain is less stubborn than thee. Methinks I should perhaps have chosen him as a vessel.
He is the best weapon we have. Since he's been with me, we've beaten a Juggernaut and a Deadwalker general. He could be the thing that changes the course of this war for us.
I never know if it's you or it that's talking to me. But I feel like we have the same goals. So let's go to Carothas. We'll link up with our brothers in arms and try to find a way to access the World Heart. I'm not going to pretend this is the best plan I've ever made. To tell you the truth, it's not even a plan. But I guess we're going to have to defer to this demon.
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Carothas?
If you want to get to the World Heart, we'll need to go by there. But the prince's company seems both unnecessary and dangerous. Believe me, I know his type all too well. Invested with a mission he is soon overwhelmed by, probably named by some obscure prophecy. In the name of his family, or because of an idealized vision of his future duties as sovereign, he will give his all. In other words, all his imbecility. Chasing after glory and honor, unprepared and unprotected, he will only lead us to disaster.
Seeing the shit we're in, I don't think he's doing it just for the glory. He's got an interest in having everybody survive.
And in making it look like everyone has survived entirely due to his talents, and not those of a mercenary who can produce flames and defeat a general of the Deadwalkers. Do you really believe he wants you around just because he enjoys your company? Not to mention the increasing threat implied by our friends dressed all in red.
What do you suggest we do?
When we get to Carothas, we better give them the slip and head to Blackfrost's domain.
Why should we go down there?
Because those lands are positioned quite close to the city of the elves, and like all the lands of the Ice Lords, it's a point of entry into the World Heart.
Do you think we should listen to Prince Arundel and go with him to Karlthas?
The great elven army and what is left of the human army in this part of Vertiel are now gathering at Karlthas. Separately, none of these troops stood a chance. But united... well, in any case, it's the only hope we have left. Reinforcements from the Freeborn Blades and Red Scribes will help. And so will you, from what I've seen. And even if I don't approve of all the strategic choices made by my sovereign these last few years, I think he'll rise to the occasion now that he can no longer retreat. He knows the lands around Karlthas perfectly, so I'm sure he will bring the battle onto terrain that will favor us. And since you're curious to know more about what happened to you, my people's scholars are famous. They can surely help you.
You've got it all figured out.
I believe we can manage to hold the Deadwalker army back this time. Though it's a bit early to start celebrating.
What do you intend to do now? We can't stay here.
I have to talk things over with the other members of my order. But we planned on going to Karlthas. And I think that is still the best idea. Everything that is left of the human and elf armies is there. If we join forces, we should be strong enough to hold out against the Deadwalkers. The contract with your company only ends once there anyway. And I doubt your captain wants to break it. What's more, it might be an excellent opportunity to learn more about your guest. The elven sages are famous, and their library holds many reference books. And I suggest, until we should learn more, that you neither listen to it nor obey it. I think it's lying to you, manipulating you, and that it has other goals than just our survival.
Arundel wants me to go with him to Karlthas. What do you think?
You should go with him. Karlthas is our only hope for now, and the prince seems like a good man. We would be safer there. Both the human and elven armies are gathered there, and I believe you may find some answers there also. The elven sages are some of the wisest people on Vertiel. If anyone can figure out what has happened to you, they can.
It's pretty obvious what happened to me. A demon has somehow gotten into my head, and now I gotta live with it.
And this does not worry you?
Yeah, it's starting to scare me.
I can imagine. These new powers come at a price. And I fear that you, Vulcan, your very self, may be the price that has to be paid. You must go to Karlthas so they can examine you. I believe you must find a way to control this thing, or even rid yourself of it before it's too late.
There you are, at last. So, have you made your decision?
I'm still thinking.
Don't wait too long. The Deadwalkers will be back here soon. There you are, at last.
I will fight with you at Karlthas. Your army may be our only chance of victory.
Idiot! Thou hast sentenced thyself to death. And now?
Now we will go with the others to Karlthas, to swell our ranks, combine our forces and face the Deadwalker army on equal terms.
Equal terms? Because thou hast slain a vassal far from his master, do not presume too much upon this body. Now draw close to the domain of one of these necromancers. Faced with his power, 1,000 soldiers more or less will make no difference. The power to slay this vermin lies within us. But it cannot be used from such a weak vessel, nor can it even be protected from those who covet it.
I am more and more powerful.
Yes, yet still not powerful enough. And this city is of no interest. The necromancer will lay waste to it with a wave of his hand. While he tarries, thou must make haste to reach his palace.
You said that I lack the power. I will not throw myself into the wolf's jaws.
When thou returnest to the world heart, none will stand before us. Thou wouldst already possess the power to destroy this sorcerer and his like, if thou hadst but allowed the evolution of this useless body. Look upon thyself. Thou art duped.
Vulcan, have you seen something?
They use thee.
You coming, Vulcan? Your captain will be wondering where we are.
Huh? Yes, of course. Let's go.
There you are, sire. Right. Change of plan. Seeing how cold it is, it will come as no surprise to you to learn that the Deadwalkers have already been here. They're still close.
We must rejoin my father's army as swiftly as we may.
I think we already found them. Take a look around us.
There are survivors. Apparently they are camped not far from here. This soldier will lead us to them.
Prince Arundel, my lord, can it be you?
Soldier, what happened here? Is the king with you?
The Deadwalkers took us by surprise. The cold and the ice. We stood no chance. Almost all of the city has been invaded by the ice.
My father! Where is the king?
I know not, Your Highness. But a few of us were able to escape. Lord Commander Valen has built a camp close by the city.
Valen is here! Take us to his camp.
By your leave. Follow me, my lord.
My prince, we had lost all hope of seeing you return safe. We have no word from Bastion.
Bastion is lost, Valen. We came into this war too late. The General of the Alliance gave his life that I should escape with Relmar.
The deserter. What business did he have at Bastion?
The deserter was fighting, while you and your wondrous army waited, warm and safe, sat upon their asses. I hope the result is pleasing to you, Valen.
Silence! Both of you! Relmar saved my life, Valen. For now you will consider him pardoned.
By your will, my lord. And I see that you are escorted by the Freeborn Blades.
In truth, they are escorting the Red Scribes. But their presence is our good fortune. They have already once put the Deadwalkers to rout in the marshes. This man slew one of their generals before my very eyes. I will tell you more of this later. Now I must speak with my father. Where is he?
No one knows, my prince. The king was still in the royal palace when the river Estelduin fell upon the city.
The river? What happened?
'Twas like a great wave that froze all that it touched. We had seen the approach of the Deadwalkers' vanguard 4 days before, and we had raised Caroltas's defenses in preparation. Not even the sight of 10 juggernauts would have feared us, but we never dreamt that an Ice Lord would come to lead the assault himself. He walked calmly to within an arrow's flight of the gates, never once speaking. And then, the river rose up from its bed to form a gigantic cloud that hung up over Caroltas. We understood our peril too late. Near all of our soldiers stood atop the ramparts or in the streets when the ice cloud fell. All were frozen where they stood. That was his signal to launch their assault, but we were already vanquished. We fought to cover our retreat.
We must find the king!
I know, my prince, but every entry to the city is guarded, and we cannot risk being discovered.
It is clear we will not travel 200 paces if we do not first slay the sentinels close to the encampment. Only then will we be able to attempt to enter the city and save your father.
I'll go find your king for you.
Vulcan, did you hear me ask for volunteers? Our mission is over. The Red Scribes have screwed up from start to end. But they're in the hands of the Elven army now.
Captain, since we're here, we may as well make ourselves useful, right? And we have to get inside those walls if we want to know what happened to Wolf and the other blades we left here.
Ah, Vulcan. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
That is why I shall go with him. I grew up in this city. We shall help one another.
My prince, you know well it is my duty to object to you taking such a risk.
And you also know that your objections will change nothing. No man here knows the palace better than I. If my father is within, I will find him.
By your word, sire. But I fear most what other things you may find. I can but put my trust in your newfound champion to watch over your highness.
Don't forget, you'll have to deal with those sentinels before you try anything else, Vulcan. Meanwhile, the lads will set up camp near the south gate.
Understood, Captain.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Carolthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You're no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people will be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
All right, I'll take care of it. Don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do. I'll leave you here.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
Do the Deadwalkers still hold the main road?
Still, and it's a problem. We won't be able to secure the perimeter for long with the undead nearby. And we won't be able to take Carolthas with that road in enemy hands.
Welcome to the war zone, High Commander Valen. After all this time twiddling your thumbs, I guess you're a bit rusty. But in war, people die. It happens quite a lot, actually. My mission is to infiltrate Carolthas without making waves. Your soldiers is to hold their ground. If you don't think they're up to it, either reinforce them or pull them out. Unless you feel like calling on the services of a freeborn blade, of course. As the captain doesn't seem too inclined, I can cut you a deal.
I don't deal with mercenaries. My mistake. I thought I saw something else in you.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. How did you survive the Battle of Carolthas?
I was lucky. When we got wind of the arrival of the Deadwalkers, our king sent me to reconnoiter. I was outside Carolthas when they attacked. Over the days that followed, I tried to gather together as many survivors as I could. Alas, that was all I could do.
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Very little. I can only trust what the last soldiers who got out have said. Apparently, most of the Deadwalker troops have left, including Lord Blackfrost. He assigned one of his concubines to control the region, but I have no idea what kind of creature we're dealing with. That said, if the Ice Lords keep to their usual tactics, they'll clean up the last pockets of resistance and start transferring their prisoners.
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
The rare information I get these days is not good. Several human kingdoms have capitulated unconditionally. The Chiller has apparently laid waste to one of the major elf settlements in the east. We have no news of the others. There are probably pockets of resistance, but they are tiny and have no hope against the Deadwalkers.
One more reason to hold here. We are Vertiel's last hope. What can you tell me about the prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start of this war, the prince has always been in the front line. He has demonstrated skill and courage, sometimes endangering his own life. He has, of course, taken some unnecessary risks, but the situation was different then. I think he'll be more cautious in the future.
I see. The young prince wanted to prove to his father that he was deserving of his affection.
He was merely seeking to protect his people.
I'll be going now.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Deadwalkers was waiting for me. Sometimes the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
So that business of cures was useless.
You'll never know. Maybe I would have woken up sooner, but I don't blame you. From what I was told, I was in a desperate state, and you had other things to do.
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority, and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could hold them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Caroltas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Caroltas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now. Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, Do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.
Vulcan, I have to talk to you about Edwin. I saw you getting friendly with her. You should be more careful. She is not what she pretends to be.
I know she's not playing straight with us. She's got her little secrets, just like everyone else.
You don't understand. It's a lot more serious than little secrets. I found some very worrying information in one of the last books I read. 200 or 300 years ago, there were other groups of sages and magicians, like the Red Scribes. One of these orders was called the White Lords.
So you think that they were the ancestors of the Ice Lords or something? What does that have to do with Edwin?
I'm getting to that. The White Lords lived in the north of Vertiel, out in the ice. We know little about them. For a long time it was believed they had disappeared. But in reality, they somehow transformed themselves. And in one of the books that I consulted, I found an engraving of a woman, one of their leaders. It was the portrait of that witch.
It is suspicious. We'll have to check it out.
Since you seem so close to her, try to find out more about her past. How old is she? Where was she born? I don't know. Just something, anything that might give her away.
I will have to be careful so she doesn't get wise to me.
Keep me informed, but believe me, I'm almost sure it is her.
See you later.
Huh. If I knew how messed up everything was gonna be.
I bet. But we're lucky you followed us. We could do with a good smith.
Yeah, well, seeing what's left of the village, it's not like I had a choice.
Let me see what you've made this time.
What is it, Vulcan?
I wanted to ask you. The Blades who were in the city, do you...
I hope so. I really hope so. After all, they shouldn't have been taking part. Generally, the Ice Lords don't kill those they capture. They like to keep their prisoners close by.
What do you think of the situation?
The same as I always thought. That all of this fuss has made absolutely no difference. We are in the shite.
You don't think we have any chance of winning?
How can you ask yourself that question? Standing in front of this devastation. Either...
Do you know Carolthas?
I came here a long time ago, at the beginning of the war. We hoped at the time that the elves would help us. And there they were, all safe and sound in their city. Totally disinterested in taking any risk for any other. When I learned that there was a battle brewing, and that the last of the human armies was gathering here, I said...
Let's change the subject. I have to go. Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
I would like to ask you a few questions. I always hear people talking about the World Heart.
First, forget all the children's stories about a friendly force for good, or its mythical dimension. The World Heart is very real. It is from there that magic comes, as well as certain... These energies can be captured and used. That is what magicians do.
The demon insists we must purify it. That mean it?
It's a good bet it is referring indirectly to the Ice Lords. This power has an origin and a cost. They drew it from the world. Imagine leeches sucking away endlessly on the...
So all we have to do is go to this place nobody knows and clean out the all-powerful magical... Aren't you cold like that?
Is that your polite way of suggesting I'm indecently dressed?
I was simply concerned about your...
Oh, how touching. But after having spent nights on end, trapped in a cage in the middle of the swamps...
We're going to try to take back the town.
Yes, of course. You'll need to locate a unicorn, a few leprechauns, and perhaps a fairy or two. They are your last, best hope for retaking the town.
So you're saying it's impossible?
You catch on quickly. The might of the entire elven army was swept away in a few minutes. Be realistic. Your allies are disintegrating.
And then what? Wait for the war to be lost? Put off dying another month or two until the dead walk?
You could hide yourself and learn how to control your demon. I could help you and...
It's tempting. Yeah, why not? I'm getting a little tired of fighting for lost causes. Just let me get organized.
I cannot allow thee to simply flee. Step off of the path to the World Heart and I will kill her. I will kill thee.
Vulcan, are you still there? Did it speak?
Yeah. Seems like he's not a big fan of our plan to run away.
The need to reach its goal has grown too strong. Very well. Your demon will no doubt gain strength through combat. And this...
I'm afraid you might be right. What happened at Carolthas?
Wait until your enemies have gathered and then take them by surprise using magic. To cast a spell capable of freezing a river, he could be your key to the World Heart. Find him and...
How well do you know Blackfrost?
Once upon a time, we were both Ice Lords.
Don't take me for a fool. There's more to it than that.
Since nothing escapes your insightful eye, Blackfrost and I were close before I lost my powers.
Close? So things got hot between two Ice Lords?
That is none of your affair.
Bastard sorcerer though he is, at least he's got good taste.
Taste had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Our relationship was purely political. This alliance could have helped us to get the upper hand over the other Ice Lords.
What screwed it up?
He betrayed me first.
I hate when that happens.
When the other Ice Lords finally noticed our strengthened connection and felt threatened by it, he reacted by sacrificing me to save his own skin. He is the one who suggested to the others that they dispossess me of my powers and leave me to live as a miserable human.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker. Thanks.
Greetings, mercenary. I hope you're here to help.
this sector. Thank you for your help, mercenary.
Thanks for the help, mercenary. We're going to keep watch in this sector. If I were you, I wouldn't go near the main gate to the city. There are a lot of deadwalkers over there.
The going's a bit steep, so be careful where you step.
got a problem.
Trying to force our way through would be a terrible error. We would alert the whole city.
We have to find another way. Now I've seen everything. The Deadwalkers kicking each other's asses.
I beg your pardon?
What? This one talks. What the hell are you, a lich? A zombie scribe?
We've only known one another a few seconds, and already you insult me. Charming, I must say.
If you aren't one of them, then what are you?
I am an immortal superior spirit. And you?
So you're an Ice Lord. I thought you'd be taller or something.
I have absolutely no involvement with that bunch of cheapskate conjurers, and I would never humiliate myself by working for them, since that's what you seem to be suggesting.
Yeah? Rotting flesh, sticking out bones? You sure as hell look like a damn Deadwalker to me.
Tut tut. Did no one ever tell you not to judge a book by its cover? It's true that you're young, but use your wits. Would I be fighting my own troops if what you suggest were the truth?
All I can be sure of is that you're not really alive, and that makes you my enemy. And what's more, you're in my way.
This rotting body will not survive more punishment. In all my 6,000 years, I have never witnessed such power. You seem to be as unique a being as I am. What is the source of your power? What are you?
There's a demon inside me. A creature of flame that claims to come from the World Heart.
How fascinating. Even if the term demon seems to lack precision. Nonetheless, I must confess that in spite of my vast knowledge, I have no idea what this entity really is. At last, something interesting. I was almost dying of boredom. I suspect that exploring what's inside you will probably be quite exciting. No, don't speak. I'm coming with you. I can't wait to find out more about your case.
I can't have you tagging along with me right now. I have something to do in the city. Wait for me back at the camp. We'll talk about what we think you and I are later on.
Yes, I've seen where your camp is. Actually, it's quite surprising the Deadwalkers haven't noticed it yet. However, I suspect my unannounced arrival might pose a slight problem for your brothers in arms.
Yeah, I guess with your face, they might not welcome you with open arms. Just tell them I sent you, and try to behave.
Very well. Do you know your way into the city? There's a hidden entrance not far from here. I'll show you where it is on your map.
Thanks.
city is an open grave.
What have they done to my city? A curse upon them all!
We'll be lucky if we find any survivors. don't know, but it doesn't look right.
Son? My boy? Can it be you?
Oh, fuck. By all the gods. Father? It cannot be!
Do not look upon me. I am so sorry. Do not stay here. Take the crown and leave this place.
Oh, Father. But what have they done to you?
I surrendered. Lord Blackfrost told me that you were slain. That Marshal Winter's army had left no survivors at Bastion. I had not the strength to even raise my sword. And so he changed us, remade us, the other nobles and I, and all those who had taken refuge in the palace. He wanted me to witness our end, so that I would live with our defeat and news of your death for eternity. But you are alive. You live. Your mother and I are so relieved to know you live.
Mother? But how can I release you from this curse?
My son, if you only knew how sorry we are. You cannot save us. We are condemned to this abomination. You must slay us. The others, the Queen, the Count, all of these people. I feel their suffering. Hear their screams within me. Put an end to it, I beg you. Free us that our souls may be with you.
Sire, I can take care of this, if you want me to.
For pity, my boy. Whatever you decide. Take the crown.
He could see that you were alive, and you put an end to his suffering. In every way, I think you did what was best.
I know. And I shall have the crown, and all that it represents. But I shall never wear it with dignity until I have reconquered my kingdom and slain this Ice Lord.
We have to get back to the camp before the Deadwalkers come for us. The death of one of the Liches is bound to have gotten their attention.
I will come soon. I must first perform a ritual to free my father's soul from this unholy carcass so that it may stay with me.
I'll wait outside.
afford to wait for Arundel. Not in his condition. The Deadwalkers will be scouring the city to find who killed their Lich. We gotta get back to the camp fast.
We waste our time here. The fate of these people is sealed. The sole act that can defeat the necromancers is to take back the stolen energy of the World Heart.
I decide what has to be done, with or without your agreement.
Mercenary! The Sentinels in the other group were killed by Deadwalkers. And there's a group of undead on the road, stopping anyone from getting through.
I'll see what I can do. Mercenary, it is well that you are returned. A creature that seemed like a dead thing came. It claimed you had sent it.
Yeah, he's a potential ally.
I fear I attacked him, and arrested him. He tried to talk to me, but I felt...
Where is he now?
He is with the Red Scribes.
Perfect. Mithras, do you have a moment?
My dear, I have all of eternity.
Talk to you later.